What is going on, my super sandwiches? Rhymestyle here, and today I'm joined by Geekdom 101 for a interesting Dragon Ball Z discussion about Future Trunks. Now, before I start, let me just toss this out there because you've already read the title. You're probably like thinking, "What the hell, Rhymestyle? Future Trunks is my favorite character." Future Trunks to me is my favorite character, if not my second favorite. My first is Beerus, but both Beerus and Future Trunks to me are on the same level. But the main reason why I decided to do this video is because if you really think about it, Future Trunks is really not that great of a character. Now, granted, he did do a lot of cool things. He showed up, he told the Z Warriors about the androids, he has a sword, he sliced Frieza in half, and the first second he showed up. He was also the second Super Saiyan that we saw in the series. I will never forget. I was, how old was I? I was like 10 years old, whatever. I got the VHS tape. It was the second they released the VHS tape for, it was called Mysterious Youth. That's what it was called, the VHS. I remember that. I bought that. It was the first tape I bought. My mom bought it for me, actually. I didn't buy it.
And quick trivia note, what's funny is about the two Trunks tapes, they screwed up because the cover for the first Trunks tape, the scene for that takes place in the second tape, and the cover for the second tape, the scene for that takes place in the first tape.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's Funimation back then.
Speaking of that tape, it's funny. I remember this was my first time experiencing uncut Dragon Ball Z, and I remember there's a part in the beginning of the Trunks saga, if you want to call it, where they have Master Roshi reading like that the girly magazine. I remember I was in the living room with my parents, and freaking they just showed a scene of Roshi reading a porno, and I'm like, ah, crap! I'm from my parents and watching me watch this crap, and it was kind of embarrassing. We've all been there. We've all been at that point where it's like you're watching anime or something, and there's like titties or something on the screen, and your parents walk in. It's just real awkward. That's beside the point. The whole point was when Future Trunks first showed up, it was amazingly epic. Like I said, he had a sword, he was a Super Saiyan, he manhandled Frieza in one hit. It was amazing. He instantly became my favorite character after that. Up until Beerus was introduced, that is. But as I was saying though, he is a really overrated character because if you think about it, outside of warring the Z Warriors and killing Frieza, all he did was whine. What was the word that you used, Geekdom? He was what?
He was a bitch.
Pretty much
I hate to say it.
Yeah.
Let me just say it real quick because I have a very similar story to you. Just real quick, those Trunks episodes. I got a copy of these bootlegs called Frieza's Final Battle. That's what the tapes were actually called, and it was those Trunks episodes. Japanese anime labs, way before they aired here, years before. Very bad quality. The video quality was like 4th generation fan sub, terrible. But I had the same reaction that you did when he first shows up. And one of the things, we talked about this on a previous video about like the dub changes. In the dub, the first thing he says is, "So you must be Frieza," which is fine. In the Japanese version, the first thing he says is, "I came to kill you all," which is like so much fucking cooler, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I came to kill you all. That's it. And then they go to the cliffhanger. But just, you know, the whole back and forth with Trunks and Frieza, and then he transforms, only the second SSJ we see in the entire series. You're not supposed to know there's more than one.
Yeah.
Obviously, because of the internet, we saw pictures of tons of people with blonde hair, you know, from the Boo saga when we were kids. But if you see it for the first time, you're not supposed to know there's more than one. That big shock. They play this really epic song. I like the Falconer score for this scene, but I honestly feel like the song they played in the Japanese version called Battle Point Unlimited was even better. He comes in there, he chops Frieza up, and then you know what? Just like you said, for the remainder of his time in this entire story arc,
you're waiting for him to do something cool. Like, you know, the next time he shows up, you're like, okay, when Trunks shows up, he's gonna be a badass. And then what happens? Nothing.
he shows up. He comes back 3 years later. He's whining about don't wake them up, don't wake them up, don't wake them up. Blows up the laboratory. They survive, of course, and then he ends up. And there is a cool scene though when Vegeta gets his arm broken and he screams, "Father!" and then he jumps in with the sword. I love this too. This is great. I'm sorry, bro. I'm getting excited talking about Dragon Ball here. This is great storytelling. That same sword cut Frieza, a guy who they fought for like 72 episodes. That sword took him out in one shot, and King Cold, nothing, he blasted through a hole through his chest, and he hits 18 in the head, and the freaking sword cracks.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker, this ain't gonna happen this time. And she just wails on his ass, and pretty much leaves him, they really left everybody just for death. They just wiped out all the Z fighters. But you're right, like the Cell fight, when Vegeta fought Cell, Vegeta was being all cocky saying, "Oh, well, my son's strong, but not as strong as me." And then the big secret is revealed that, oh, Trunks surpassed you. And at that point in the series, Trunks was the most powerful Z fighter at that point. But he was too slow, and then he knew he couldn't beat Cell, and then he surrendered, and he's like, "Kill me, I don't deserve it." And it's like, come on!
That was my big problem with Trunks. Is he was such a I give up. He was a quitter. Like, why are you quitting? Like, try, do something else, run away, get stronger. What are you doing? Just quitting.
Exactly. At least tell him. At least tell him. Let me go train and I'll fight you again. Because Cell is just like Vegeta. He wants the best out of you. So just no, but he wants to quit. Yeah, that's the thing about Trunks. If you notice, the only time he's ever looked impressive is at the beginning and at the end. When he first shows up to kill Frieza and King Cold, and when he goes back to the future to kill 17 and 18. And then Cell, of course.
Yeah. And it kind of hurts my heart. Like, the only reason why I decided to do this video in the first place is because I forget who I was talking to. I think it was Afro Senju, but he was like, you know, the only thing that made me hurt from Xenoverse was how much of a bitch Trunks became. And I realized, well, Trunks, it's not that he became a bitch. He was already on that level of just kind of like pathetic and useless. Because even in Xenoverse, if you want to consider Xenoverse as the extended Dragon Ball Z universe, even in Xenoverse, he's a terrible character. He just sends you out to battle. He doesn't help you at all. The whole time, he's kind of like being like a negative Nancy. Like, oh, no, we can't do anything. It's like, dude, believe in the person you hired, the Time Patrollers, to do their job. He's just so negative, and it's like the opposite of what a Saiyan's supposed to be. I feel like a Saiyan's supposed to be powerful, never quit. Like, you know, they're supposed to, like, always dig deeper, get stronger. But he was just the opposite of what Saiyan was. And it's kind of funny considering the fact that for what he came from, like, the whole point of the future was hope. And I feel like Trunks is like the most hopeless person in the entire series. And it hurts me because he's so cool. The sword, he just shows up.
The haircut, the jacket.
The haircut, the Saiyan. I think he has my favorite Super Saiyan design, how the hair is like on the parts ways on the side. And yet, when you really look at his character, he was kind of overrated. So the reason why we decided to do this video is to see how the community feels about future Trunks. Because I know there's so many of you guys out there, they consider Trunks your favorite character, if not your top 3. But now that you really think about it, if you really like look at everything he's done, how do you feel about Trunks now when you look at him from that perspective? That's the reason I said this video.
What about how Tien took him out in his base form in movie 9 in the BoJack movie, and he had to go SSJ to compete with him? I was like, come on, bro, Tien. You know, it's whatever. And I know I'm okay with that. I like Tien.
Yeah, and I know we can't even really count this, but going to GT with adult Trunks, granted they're 2 different characters. Even adult Trunks was kind of like annoying.
Every GT character was annoying.
Every GT character was annoying. Cases. But I feel like Adult Trunks was my most annoyed at character in that series. And I think the reason why is because I expected so much from Adult Trunks, and then when we finally get like the regular timeline Trunks in GT, it's just like, really? What are you wearing? What is that? What are those clothes? Where's the sword? What are you? What happened to you, bruh? Like, bruh. And I don't know.
And it's interesting. I want to just add this. One of the themes of the Cell saga, if you really break it down, this is kind of the stuff I'm talking about. If you look at the themes of the Cell arc, one of the recurring themes is fathers and sons. That's the recurring theme.
Yep.
Goku and Gohan, Vegeta and Trunks. At the end of the day, Trunks surpassed Vegeta. Gohan surpassed Goku.
Right.
At 2 different points. And then if you really want to go even deeper, if you consider, you know, Dr. Gero or Dr. Gero or Dr. Gero, whatever you want to call him, and Cell, because Cell is kind of like his son in a weird way. Like, you know, he created him. He's the creator. So that's like his father. And again, the son surpasses the father. Like, that's kind of the theme to that saga. Trunks, at the end of that saga, was either the 2nd or maybe the 3rd strongest character behind Goku. See, Goku was probably still a little bit stronger even though he was dead. So if you count like alive characters, Trunks was the 2nd strongest guy, but yet he didn't have anybody to really show it off against except for going back to the future. So yeah, it was like, yeah, he was just kind of, you know, he had daddy issues too. I mean, look, I have nothing against Trunks, like, because you're right, he has the great like backstory of the war-torn future that Toriyama clearly ripped off of James Cameron. Without question, because Toriyama's a big mark for James Cameron in 80s movies. He loves 80s American movies. Watch Dragon Ball start to finish, you'll recognize several references to it. But you know, yeah, at the end of the day, he's not that he's a bad character, it's just that his win-loss record is not exactly the most impressive, is all I'm gonna say. Right?
Yeah. So,
he's kind of a loser, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of weird doing this video because, like I said, he is literally my favorite character next to Beerus. Like, my first favorite characters are Beerus and Trunks, like on the same level. I like Beerus more as we see him, just because he's interesting, he's cool, he's super powerful, he's a badass. I love his design. And then literally Trunks is like right next to him. I consider both of those guys as my favorites, my first favorites. And then the next one is like, I don't know, like Teen Gohan or something. But like the fact that, if you really think about it, it just kind of hurts to know that Trunks isn't as cool as we really think he is. And I don't know, I just want to see how people like respond to this video and like what they actually think about Trunks as a character. If you really look at his achievements versus his unachievements, I guess. Is that the word I'm thinking of?
I don't even know his failures. I don't
failures,
know.
not
But
really
you're right.
failures,
He
just-
is kind of a failure, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate to say it, but he kind of is a failure. I hate to say it, but you know what? Let's just say this: he's a failure, but the reality is he did save the world.
Yep.
Because had he not gone back and given Goku that medicine,
Yep.
none of this shit would have happened. It would have been just like it was in his future. So you know what? At least there's that.
What I also want to add before we finish the video is there was so much room to make Future Trunks a lot cooler. Only because if you look at Future Gohan is the coolest of all the Gohans. Like, he went through a lot of shit. He is powerful. He keeps up with the Androids, even with one arm. Like, Future Gohan was awesome. And then you have Future Trunks, who just like he gave up a long time ago. He was broken. His spirit was broken. As much as you want to believe that there was hope, you know, like Future Trunks in a way had given up for the future,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. So that's what kind of makes you. That's what hurts me when I really think about it. Like, he should be a lot more badass. A lot more badass. You should never be afraid. You should always jump in. Granted, he should be afraid because he went through like the terror of like what 13 years. How long were they were terrorizing for? Something like that.
Yeah, like 17 years. But the thing is, though, that he should have at least killed one Cell Jr. At least one.
Yeah. Right.
At least give him that. You know, he
But
didn't get
technically,
much.
shouldn't he have been able to kill at least one?
I mean, logically, you would think so. It's weird. It's like Toriyama overpowered the Cell Juniors and then really overpowered Gohan. Because you're right.
'cause
If Trunks is on the same level as Cell, even though Cell did train for those 9 days or whatever, 10 days, you would think he would take out a Cell Junior at least. I mean,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Yeah, he definitely should have been able to, but then didn't.
So what they're basically trying to tell us is that Cell powered up tremendously in those 10 days, even more so than Trunks. Because we know that Trunks and Vegeta went back into the Room of Spirit and Time, the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. They went back in there, and they got stronger, significantly stronger. In fact, if you read the manga, you will notice, and this is a very difficult thing to pinpoint unless you really pay attention, Vegeta and Trunks in the manga, not in the anime, are in their full-powered SSJ forms. They are not in their Grade 2 or Grade 3 or their Ultra Ascended. No, they're in their full-power SSJ because of the way the eyes are shaped. They screwed up in the anime and made them in their buff form. So they got stronger, point blank, and they still couldn't take out a Cell Jr.? Damn, man.
I don't know. Like I said, Trunks should have been a lot more cool than he actually was. But I'm curious to know what the community thinks. Like, this video's done. If you made it this far, drop a comment below. Leave a like below if you enjoyed today's video as well. And I want to see what the community thinks, how they react. Because like I said, this is going to be kind of interesting. I'm pretty sure a lot of Trunks fans will be kind of upset at this video. But if you really think about it, this is Trunks. This is Trunks. And remember, he is my favorite character next to Beerus. #1. Like, both of these guys are #1s for me. And it hurts. Kind of hurts. So, yeah.
I mean, maybe he'll be cooler in Xenoverse 2. How about
I hope
that?
so. I hope so. Because even in Xenoverse 2, they kept his personality of being like this afraid. He's powerful, but not really. Just like, do something. Help me out. Why aren't you helping? He literally sends you in every single mission like, hey, we need to go stop the time shift. And it's like, he doesn't help you. He just sends you. It's like, oh, cool. Thanks. I got it, bro.
I'm pretty sure that at some point in Dragon Ball Heroes and probably in the DLC for Xenoverse 2, if they're smart, they're going to put out like a SS Blue Trunks that is probably going to be like a hugely downloaded DLC. Because you know they love doing that.
Yeah.
They just, you know, they put out SSJ4 Gohan and then SSJ3 Teen Gohan, which makes no sense. They'll do whatever. They can do what they want. At least the video games might give them an extra chance to shine, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But that's pretty much everything for us. So we want to hear from you guys now. So drop a comment below on your thoughts on Trunks, if he's really overrated, or if you still love him regardless of his failures. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you guys in the comment section below.
Bye.